Okay, so today we're going to talk about blood flow resistance training, or BFR. BFR, blood flow resistance training, is probably the biggest change in fitness and wellness over the next decade. And I'll kind of tell you why as we go on. I've been doing this since August 10th, 2021, so a little over 6 months, and I've seen good changes with it. So what I want to do, I want to tell you a little bit about it, show you how it can be done, tell you the history, and then tell you who all is using this currently and what some of the biggest benefits there are to doing this. So you can see I've got bands around my upper thighs. And I've got a band around my arm here and another band that I'll put around this arm. But I want to kind of show you what this band looks like. So these are inflatable bands, which are safe, and there's a lot of research on inflatable bands. There's another kind, this is just a strap that you cinch up. You can get those at Amazon. Not safe as far as zero research, and if you cinch it too tight, you potentially damage the nerve and or blood vessel. Probably not the wisest thing to do. If you're going to do BFR, inflatable is the way to go. But as you can see with the particular bands, I've got the B3 bands here. I don't know if you can see that there's the scalloped edges in there. What that is, these are multiple air chambers, and these are the only one of its kind so far that have multiple air chambers. It's patented multiple air chambers, and what that means is it's safe. So as that goes around your arm and you pump it up, because of those gaps in there with the multiple air chambers, you can't fully occlude, you can't fully shut off the flow of blood to the muscles. You slow it down. And that's basically what BFR is. So with blood flow restriction training, the bands slow the blood flow to the muscle, which means it doesn't get as much oxygen, which means it fatigues very fast without a lot of weight. So for example, I got some fairly light dumbbells here, and if I wanted to work with my biceps, I just go ahead and do regular bicep curls, nice and slow, keep the tension on there. Not a lot of weight. So with BFR, you're using half or even less than half the normal resistance, the amount of weight you would typically use, but you do high repetitions. So you would do anywhere from 15 to 30 repetitions with very short rest periods. So a typical, if I want to focus on my biceps, not the only way, but I may start off with a lightweight, do 30 repetitions, high number. And so that kind of gets the fatigue going in the muscle. I'm gonna rest 30 to 60 seconds. Do another set of about 15 repetitions. Rest briefly, again, 30 to 60 seconds, not a lot of rest time. And do so about a total of 4 sets. And by that time, basically, you're gonna have a lot of blood kind of kept in here, and you got some little swelling going on in the muscles. So basically, it fatigues very fast without a lot of resistance. So basically, that means I can get my exercise done in 15, 20 minutes or less, and without a lot of weight. So what that means, with less weight, there's less damage to the muscles, and for a lot of people, there's less joint damage because you're not a lot of weight. Some people, resistance training has a tremendous amount of effects, particularly anti-aging, both in building and or maintaining lean muscle tissue and strength, which there again has a lot to do with your body's ability to function. Tremendous amount of lean muscle tissue involved with your metabolism. It's just huge for anti-aging, particularly intense vigorous exercise. But not everyone can do that, either because of their age and or various factors. Now they have the ability to do intense exercise, get the results of intense exercise without really doing intense exercise, and it doesn't take a lot of time. Like I say, 15 to 20 minutes. You can get on an elliptical machine, you go for a walk, you can swim in these bands a lot of different ways. But you're probably like, well, what is this? Where did this all start? Well, basically it started in Japan in the early 70s. So a young man participating in a religious ceremony was basically kneeling for an extended amount of time. When he got up, he noticed, wow, my legs kind of feel, like I'd had a workout or something. So this started a curiosity process with him, and he used various, I think one of the first objects he used was like a bicycle inner tube. He used various objects to basically restrict the blood flow and kind of test this out on himself. And this was the early 70s. Over time, I don't remember his full background. He's a doctor of some sort. But in 1995, research started this in Tokyo. And since that time, there's been a lot of studies done in the US and Europe as well. So this is very well researched, even if it hasn't gotten out press-wise. I think the uniqueness, let's face it, putting bands on and exercising just sounds strange, doesn't sound right, sounds bizarre. And the fact you get great results from it sounds maybe even more bizarre for a lot of people. But the proof is in the pudding, how much it works. So for example, I said I started in early August. I experimented with that. Part of my inspiration, I injured this left shoulder the first time about 30 years ago, and I tweaked it a few times here and there since. I'm just gonna go ahead and just lighten this up a little bit. Take a little bit off there, but there again, you can keep these on for 20 minutes at a time, no problem, and it's safe. But anyway, one of the things you get from doing BFR, besides tricking the muscle into doing a much more intense, longer exercise program, basically is you get a huge release in growth hormone. And that's something that the average person past 30 doesn't get much of unless you do intense exercise. And there again, a lot of people past 30, a lot of the average people just don't do intense exercise to begin with. And so, but from 30 on, you get a lot less growth hormone release as you sleep than you did when you're younger. And when you're younger, you're full of growth hormone and you get injured, this or that, you recover quickly. As you age, not as much. And that growth hormone is part of that. But that's part of why I looked at, okay, can I strengthen this arm back up more than what I could do without the blood flow restriction? And can I help restore some healing to growth hormone and other factors? And I think the answer is yes. I've increased the size of this arm, biceps and triceps, increased the size of the shoulder here. It's stronger than it was before. I've put on an estimated 5 to 7 pounds of muscle in that 6 months. And I was exercising at the gym before, anywhere from 3 to 4 days a week. So, and I've done resistance training off and on throughout, since my late teens. So for me to get that kind of results at the age of 56, pretty good. Most people would be happy with that. So I do believe that it's helped restore strength as well as made a change in the tissues. So what's some of the benefits? I say growth hormone. Growth hormone is huge for anti-aging, but you get this naturally from doing the BFR training. Other benefits, nitric oxide and something called VEGF, basically in your blood vessels, your releases into the blood vessels, kind of opens up the blood vessels, get a lot of oxygen flow throughout the body. And for some people, that oxygen flow is actually help with pain relief. For example, one of the clients in the company that I'm associated with had fibromyalgia, and she had that in her early 30s, and constant pain, a lot of depression, just didn't feel good at all. And she started doing the BFR bands like I've got here, and much less, big, huge reduction in pain within a fairly short amount of time, to the point where she's actually able to go out and run half marathons, more than one, and she feels great. And BFR made a huge change for her. One of their other clients, he lost 100 pounds in 9 months exercising in a garage, kind of simple like what we got here, exercising at home, 15 to 20 minutes, lost 100 pounds in 9 months without going to the gym. Because let's face it, a lot of people just don't like the gym for various reasons, and that's their business. But at the same time, resistance training is huge if you want to age well as far as lean muscle tissue. So you get the benefits of lifting a lot heavier weights with BFR without lifting heavier weights. So that's easier on your joints. So what if you're somebody that already likes going to the gym? What about you? Well, you can still add this in, a couple times if you want to still keep going to the gym. Go to the gym a couple days a week and do your normal routine, then do the BFR a couple days a week. And because it's less stress on your joints, hey, there's a good chance you can keep going, longer without having injuries. Because let's face it, I've had a lot of injuries in my 20s and 30s. So even though I push it hard, I have to kind of find exercises to work around those injuries, and I can't just push it the way I did same way as I did in my 20s. So, and I'm not the only one in that boat. There are a lot of people over 50, in the 50s and 60s already had joint replacements. Obviously, you can't push it that hard, or you have to be careful. So with BFR, now I have an opportunity, or you have an opportunity, to get the same benefits of lifting heavier weights without as much stress to the joints. I don't know if I mentioned bone density. They've shown in studies that improve bone density. I mean, a lot of people past the age of 50, there again, bone density is huge as you age. Just so many different factors in this. Check with my notes. Like I say, who's using BFR? Well, there's celebrities, a lot of pro Olympic athletes, sports teams like the Kansas City Chiefs. Their head athletic trainer has them doing this. So they're, again, obviously during the football season you get banged up, and so you may not be able to lift the same kind of weights, things like that. So doing the BFR helps them stay strong, helps them recover faster than if they didn't. Another is Atlanta United Soccer, professional soccer team. Same thing, just kind of trying to help guys stay healthy, stay able to play play at the highest level throughout the season. Okay, I mentioned there's 3 different types of bands. I've got the one I've got here has the multiple air chambers. And as I mentioned, I think that's the best because you can exercise at home without these. Some of the other units out there that are available, they're very expensive and hooked up to a monitor. You pretty much need a physical therapist to help you use that. So this is something you can do at home. It's portable. You can take to the gym, take it wherever you want. So that's one of the benefits of that. Okay, certification was already, I got certified, but by no means consider myself an expert in BFR, but there's currently 11 different certifications available for BFR. Now, if this wasn't something that would be huge, would there be 11 certifications already for this? And that number will grow? Of course not. So everybody predicts this is going to be huge for the reasons I already mentioned. Okay, blood sugar levels. That's one of the things with intense exercise. Not just there again. You can go out and go for regular walks, and that's good. However, if you never exercise intensely, you don't get the same benefits as if you did. So blood sugar, avoiding type 2 diabetes is huge. Obviously, weight loss is a big one with this. But there's just so many different benefits. Cardiovascular, as I mentioned before, the nitric oxide and what's called VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factors, are important for basically just keeping good, healthy blood vessels. So there are, again, cardiovascular benefits from doing this. Like I mentioned the growth hormone. there's just so many different benefits to doing this. If nothing else, like I say, the fact you can do a lot less in weight in a lot less time. If those are the only two reasons right there, that's a selling point for a lot of people. And you're going to hear a lot about this in the next 2 to 3 years. It's going to take off. I know it sounds strange, but it works. Like I say, I've in the last 6 months, I've only gone to the gym once or twice a week in the last 6 months. Previously, it was 3 to 4 times a week going to the gym. Just doing light weights at home. And I put on 5 pounds of muscle going to the gym once or twice a week. How many people can say that? So for that alone, that's pretty darn incredible. And you know, who else can say that? So by doing light weights at home, that you got better benefits or better results than you did at the gym. So these things, like I say, it's just going to take off in the next couple of years, and I'm kind of blabbering here, so I'll quit. But this is just going to